Jesus said in John chapter 17, as he's praying to the Father, he says this in verse 4, I glorified you on earth by completing the work you gave me to do. Jesus has yet to be on the cross when he said these words, when he prayed this prayer. So what is he talking about when he says that he had completed the work that God had given him to do? He would go to the cross and he would finish the work, but he had completed something else here on earth, and that was he had equipped a group of people to be disciple makers. You see, those disciples that followed Jesus, that walked with Jesus day in and day out, they were prepared. They had everything they needed from him to make disciples on their own. And that was the plan that Jesus left this earth with, was that these disciples would be disciple makers. And his work of making disciples was complete. All these guys needed now was the Holy Spirit, which Jesus promised he would send, and he did. And that same Holy Spirit is the Holy Spirit that we have, that empowers us to accomplish the mission that God has given us so that we can complete the work that God has called us to do here on this earth. So as you think about this in the context of leading a small group or making disciples within your circle of influence, what does that look like for you to complete the work that God gave you to do in the life of one of those disciples? And I think that what it would mean, what it would look like for you to complete that work is to see that that person is a disciple maker themselves. We have a great tool that we use here at Fusion, the discipleship wheel, which helps you as an intentional disciple maker, as an intentional leader in your small group. It helps you to understand what the process looks like in someone's life, even though it's not linear. This process of them maturing in their faith, you're sharing your life with them. You're sharing new truths and new habits into their lives about what it means to be a Christ follower, and you're connecting them to God and to other Christians, connecting them to the purpose that God has given them to make disciples, helping them experience that by giving them opportunities to minister to other people and to be others focused and God centered in the way that they live their life, and eventually helping them to step into disciple making. So your work is complete with a disciple when you have taken them to the point of maturity where they are a disciple maker. Now, in the reality of that, this person is probably someone that you have a strong relationship with at this point because you spent some time with them. So while the work may be complete, your relationship's not complete. There's still support and encouragement. Sometimes challenge and accountability might come into effect. Just like when your child grows up and moves out of the house, your relationship just changes. But your role as a parent raising that child to become a parent is pretty close to being done, if not complete. So think about, as you're making disciples, what does it look like for you to be able to pray the same words that Jesus prayed when he said, I glorified you, Father, on the earth by completing the work that you gave me to do. I pray that you are able to say that prayer to the Lord over and over again in the lives of the people that you're discipling.